From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Monday, July 29th. Kind of a gloomy start to the day. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for much of the day, and really this week it's going to be hot, humid, and rainy. Leaders in Vigo County are inviting everyone to line the procession route after today's services for Sheriff John Plassey. Plassey died last week after a struggle with cancer. The Holman Center at Indiana State University is hosting public events today. First, a viewing from noon to 2. Then a funeral service follows. It is also open to all. Graveside services are private. The procession starts at roughly 3:30 outside the Holman Center, then south to the Sheriff's Office, then back north to the Police Department, and east on Highway 40. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office says a deputy is dead after a motorcycle crash in Greene County. The Greene County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened late Saturday night on State Road 445 near I-69. Investigators say the motorcycle ran off the road and crashed. The driver later died at the hospital. Deputies identified him as 25-year-old Brenton Trueblood. In a Facebook post, the Lawrence County Sheriff's Office says Trueblood was one of their deputies. The post says Deputy Trueblood was one of a kind who brought an unmatched work ethic every day. IMPD's chief says the officer who was shot on Friday night is recovering and is in good spirits. He was shot in the abdomen and right arm after police say they were called to a report of a person shot near East 36 in North Whitfield on the far east side. The officer was taken to Eskenazi Hospital, where IMPD says he had surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. IMPD has not released the name of the officer. The IU Board of Trustees is scheduled to vote on a new expression policy tonight. The changes follow criticism for how the school and police handled pro-Palestinian protests in April. Demonstrators say they were following existing school rules allowing free expression in Dunn Meadow. They accuse the administrators of changing the rules arbitrarily.
The next day, the state police, at the urging of IU's president, brought troopers in full military gear with military hardware onto our campus. A sniper was placed on the roof of the Memorial Union. Over the course of that day and 2 days after, over 50 faculty, students, staff, alumni, and community members were arrested.
IU's president says she hopes an independent report on the university's handling of the protests will lead to a safer campus community. In your vote 2024, Transportation Secretary and former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg will be here in central Indiana this week. His visit comes as speculation mounts over who Vice President Kamala Harris will choose as her running mate. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist takes a closer look during this week's episode of All Indiana Politics.
Sources close to the Harris campaign tell CNN Buttigieg is under consideration to be Harris's running mate, along with several Midwestern and swing state governors and senators. I asked our All Indiana Politics panel about Buttigieg's chances against that field.
Well, I think he's got as good a shot as any. I mean, frankly, I think one of his strongest points, I always call him Mayor Pete, but one of Pete Buttigieg's strongest points is I think he is arguably the best messenger right now for the Democratic Party. He is so good at speaking to people and speaking and meeting people right where they are. And what I thought was so fascinating about his presidential run when he ran are the number of people I know who are Republicans, who are moderates, who were really intrigued by him, who loved his message, and who continue to follow him all the way through. So I think he is the full package. If someone were to be on the ticket, he does now live in Michigan, so he's a Michigan resident. He does bring that one of those battlegrounds, as Mario mentioned. We do have a deep bench, though. We've got folks like Josh Shapiro, Mark Kelly. We've got folks in the Senate, Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina. One person I think we should not overlook is Andy Beshear. He's the governor of Kentucky. He's been incredibly popular, has done a really great job there. So we have a deep bench.
Laura, I've got about a minute left. I need to bring Mario in here.
I think we're proud of that.
Mario,
yeah, go ahead, Mario. Sorry.
Some of the names
I can
that
talk
have been
about
floated,
Pete all day long.
Some of the names that have been floated suggest a play for the heartland. Trump did that this year with Vance from Ohio and with former Indiana Governor Mike Pence in 2016. How important is geography in choosing a running mate?
I think it's extremely important. I doubt Kamala Harris is going to listen to my opinion, but I think that she needs to pick a vice president from one of the battleground states, like a Shapiro, like a Kelly. She's not doing well in Pennsylvania. Her comments on fracking. Additionally, there's not a lot of minorities in Pennsylvania. In Arizona, Kelly would be a great pick for her because favored son status, right? Shapiro and Kelly in their states that are battleground states, usually they will bring something to that ticket and maybe lock in that state.
All Indiana Politics airs every Sunday morning at 9:30, only on Wish TV. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Wish TV is proud to host one of the only televised debates in the race for Indiana governor. The All Indiana Politics special, The Governor's Debate, happens on October 3rd at 6 in the evening. The debate will feature all three candidates for governor, Republican Mike Braun, Democrat Jennifer McCormick, and Libertarian Donald Rainwater. The one-hour debate will broadcast statewide. And Colts Watch, the team's owner, is the talk of training camp. Jim Irsay went to Sunday's practice. It's his first public appearance since last year. Irsay has stayed completely out of the spotlight since medics took him to the hospital in December with what the team described as a severe respiratory illness. Since then, he's also had a surgery on his leg. Irsay watched practice from a golf cart and talked about his recovery.
I'm feeling great, just trying to get this left leg stronger, which it will, and it's just great to be out here.
The Colts' next public practice is at 10 tomorrow morning. Wish TV is your education station. Public comment on the first draft of the state's proposed new high school diploma requirements ends tomorrow. The proposal is getting pushback from some parents and state lawmakers. The Indiana Department of Education says you can give final input at a meeting at 10 tomorrow morning at the Indiana Government Center South. The plan would offer Indiana students 2 diploma options, starting with the class of 2029. The GPS diploma resembles the current graduation requirements, only with less advanced math and social studies. The GPS Plus would require more out-of-school work experience.
Too often our system has pushed kids up, right? Just push them up, and in some instances push them out. We need to think about how we're incentivizing where they're going. How do we bring them to the table so that they're being pulled in?
Some parents and teachers say that changes would leave out courses like world history, foreign languages, and the arts. The Indiana State Teachers Association says that the new diplomas are not challenging enough. They said in a statement, while the diploma seals are a step in the right direction, we remain concerned about key issues related to equity and access, lack of rigor in the GPS diploma, and unattainable rigor in the GPS Plus, and the negative effects on students having to earn a C in courses in order to pass. All this week in the Morning Bell, we're getting you ready to head back to school. The superintendent of Indianapolis Public Schools, Alicia Johnson, joined Daybreak today with school starting on Thursday. She talked about the district's full implementation of the Rebuilding Stronger plan.
This is a big year. We'll be in full implementation. The work around Rebuilding Stronger started really in 2021, coming off of COVID and doing some dreaming with our community about what we wanted for the future of our schools. And now we'll be at full implementation, meaning that some of our schools are changing their grade configurations. We'll have standalone middle schools serving grades 6 through 8, our elementary schools being pre-K through 5 or K through 5. And then we see a lot of replication of a lot of different instructional models from families to choose from. So we are increasing the number of international baccalaureate schools, Montessori schools, STEM-focused schools, and then adding a second visual and performing arts school at the elementary grades, as well as our exploratory schools. So lots for families to choose.
So parents can basically say, hey, I'd like a Montessori or dual language, and then they kind of go that route.
That's exactly right.
What about these middle schools? You're opening some, what were in some cases closed schools. Mm-hmm. How's that looking?
We're really excited. So TC Howe, Broad Ripple, previously had been closed, and we are reopening those as middle schools. Really excited to be serving those particular communities, both of them opening up as International Baccalaureate middle schools. Arlington is transferring into a STEM middle school along with William Penn. Longfellow and Northwest are also going to be opening as middle schools. So we're just excited for families across our district to have the ability to choose what's the right fit for their child and their family. We couldn't be more excited for that opportunity.
All week, Wish TV will have superintendents from school districts on Daybreak talking about going back to school. Yeah! That was a shocker at Comic-Con in San Diego over the weekend. Robert Downey Jr. took off a mask and showed fans that he's returning to the Marvel Comics universe on the big screen, only this time he's a bad guy. The former Iron Man was revealed as the classic Fantastic Four villain Dr. Doom. He's also slated to be in at least 2 movies, Avengers Doomsday in May of 2026 and Avengers Secret Wars expected in May of 2027. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.